And hello again. I guess if Catherine's going to be the answer lady, I'm going to be the Ask Jack guy. What we've got is another query from an email about how to do it. So what we're going to do is share it with everyone that's interested by watching this video. Now, let's go over the cautionary items for the do-it-yourselfers out there. This piece right here will go sprawling. It's got a little spring underneath it, right there, attached right there, but the spring is on the post that this goes into. So if you don't put your little finger here when you turn it upside down to look at the bottom, this is
Show us again where to put our finger.
Right here on the center.
Because I'm sort of the queen of sprawling.
Right, there's a black, that's the center of the post, so you want to put your finger there to turn it upside down. But this is definitely a sprawling right here. It just sits on there, and this little spring holds it. You see it's holding it into the cam drive, but it's not holding it on its post. Now, speaking of cam drive, I'll point out to you, this is one drive area right here.
Wait.
All right, this is one drive area right here. It goes around that and comes in through this declivity. Here's another drive path right there. Here's another drive path right there. And here's another drive path right here.
Good grief, these things are elaborate.
There's another drive path that you can't see. Now, I'm going to go ahead and disassemble this. But you see, there's another drive path right through there. And it took me forever to figure out this is the one for this guy. But each and every one of this item right here rides a path. This rides a path. This rides a path. This rides a path. And that rides a path. All of them underneath here. So when you go to put this back together, and if you'll notice, there's two flat sides on this and two flat sides on the post. And there's three positions here for these two stobs to go into. But when you go to put it back together, if you try it that way, it's not going to work. So then you have to go 180 degrees. And when it starts down on there, you'll see you have a post here going into a hole and a post here going into a hole. So it only goes on one way, but if you don't get it that way, it looks like, hey, that doesn't fit.
It won't go at all.
Right. So now we start this down on the post, but look, this guy's got to get out of the way. This guy underneath here's got to get out of the way. This guy, the tough one's got to get out of the way, and this has to make sure it lines up with the beginning of its slot. So all of that, you'll see it when you go to put it back together, when you go to moving things out of the way. It'll go down just a little bit. Up, see there?
So you kind of have to do one after the other?
Yes. See, it went down just enough for this one to be held out, but it's not lined up for any of the rest of them underneath there.
Yeah.
So you have to work them around and keep going clockwise. See, that guy got in the way again. Oh, now it's starting to work down a little bit. It went down a little bit more. Eventually, this guy's got to be up here. So
we're losing you.
Well, tell you what, it's hard for the camera to follow. It's hard for me to follow. But as you work these things out of the way and you go down, that'll go on there.
Keep gently rotating and pulling whatever gets in the way next.
Yes, exactly.
And then you'll get it seated off camera and put the lid back on, right?
Now, the next one to get out of the way is the tough guy. And oops. Did you hear that?
Yes, I did.
See, what I did is I moved it there. And now it's down, and it's still not quite far enough. Because this piece right here eventually rides this area. So until this can get up here, you're not down far enough. Next guy that's in the way is right underneath here. We got to pull this out of the way. Oops, there we went again. Now what we've got...
So what it looks to me like is there are certainly do-it-yourselfers out there who can manage this, but it's not everybody.
No, it isn't. And the thing is, you have so many spring-loaded areas. See, right now, I can show you, See how it's higher on this side than it is on that side? It's because this guy right here is in the way because he's not lined up with his path. So I've got to try to start over again with a different position. Pulling that out of the way, lifting this up till I can get it in there. So it's not for everybody. It's easy enough to follow. See, this is the path right here for this piece right here. So it behooves me to start with that path somewhere near what I'm doing. But again, I got to start here and get it down, and then the next one and get it down. I'll do that off camera. I'll get it with the top on, and we'll show you how it rotates, and then we'll put it back together and try.
Yes.
All right, here's a lesson in using your linker. And we're going to dedicate this portion to Linda, who sent this dead-in-the-water contraption. I think she was really trying to stump the chump like the Car Talk guys, but here we go. You put it on, you have to start. There's a little neutral position slot right here that you start in. Now, right now, it'll slide easily until we engage with our direction knob. Now, it won't slide, but look. Oh my goodness, what is that? I'm going to back up to the neutral position again. And we're going to get over here to our needles in working position and just pretend that there's a sock right here. And here we go. Notice the needles going in. We're robbing their yarn away from them. And we're done. We go back to the neutral position. We hit our direction knob and voila.
Oh, joy.
Linker ready to use.